I'm live! Hello! Hello YouTube, hello Twitch. Today is Thursday the 24th of October. It is 20 past 6 in the evening. It's dark outside here in London. And because it's the evening, there's a good chance my cat will be harassing me this stream. I know that's what you want, so that's okay. Although he's gone a bit quiet now. He's hiding under my chair. Okay. So yesterday I did a stream. YouTube folks, you won't be able to see it, I'm afraid. I deleted it because I got started and then I had to suddenly cut it short, which is really annoying. So I very carefully and cleverly worn the same t-shirt as I did when I was streaming yesterday so I can reuse the thumbnail. Because making thumbnails sucks. I spend very little time making thumbnails, but the fact I have to do it at all is rubbish. And I probably should put more work into thumbnails, and then more people click my videos, and then more people find Gleam, and then, I mean, that's it. That's the end of the chain. that will be a good thing because Gleam is good and nice. So the thing I wanted to do yesterday. Oh, I've realised I can't see Twitch chat. Let me fix that. I was making a await many function, or I was going to make an await many function for tasks. And tasks are an abstraction inside Gleam OTP, OTP being the actor framework on the Beam. And there's a Gleam version of it called Gleam OTP. First, says Benito. Well done. What was I saying? Oh, yes. And so you can spawn off a task, say task async this thing, and then in another green thread it does some stuff, and then when it's finished it sends the results back, and then you say task await, and you catch the result at the end. But you quite often want to say task async, and then both of them work doing their thing, and then you want to await both of them. And you could say await one, and then when that's done, await the other. But then the way timeouts doesn't work. So if you say, I want these two things to together take up to 1 second to run, and if you put a timeout on the first await of 1 second and a timeout on the second await of 1 second, you end up waiting 2 seconds in the worst case. Which is bad. Because you may not notice, but 2 seconds is more than 1 second. So I'm going to make some code that anyone who deals with multiple tasks will probably need. I hate how good it is to write Gleam. Please make a worse project next time. I promise you, whatever I make next, if I make another language, will definitely be worse than Gleam. 100%. I've got so many cursed ideas that I want to follow through with. Although I'm not sure I'll make another language. I kind of just like want to do silly little sysadmin things, to be honest, because I'm a Linux nerd at heart. I got a new server yesterday. Oh, really exciting. I bought it from Cache Converters. I use a second-hand mini PC. It's a 3-year-old CPU. I can't remember what it is now. That's annoying. It's got 3 cores. No, it's got 4 cores. It's from Intel. I can't remember what it is. It's got fairly low power usage. My memory is appalling. Anyway, it has 16 gig of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage is what it said on the box. And it was very cheap in Cache Converters. Much cheaper than new, much cheaper than eBay. So I decided to buy it. And when it arrived, I got very confused with the install process because the drive didn't write. I was like, "Oh no, something's wrong with the drive. Oh no!" And so I opened up this computer, and I discovered it has not 1 drive, but 2. There was an additional 1 terabyte that was not listed in the listing. So even better deal. Fantastic. So I spent the evening installing OpenSUSE. I think that's how you pronounce it. OpenSUSE on it, the atomic one, where it's got a read-only file system and it does the updates into a snapshot and then it reboots to load the new snapshot. Very clever stuff. And it's working. It totally works. I had loads of fun. I love that stuff. And now I need to actually install software on it. But I love fiddling with Linux boxes. It's just really fun. It's like gardening, but for really uncool people. Did you end up finding a good VPS provider in London, says Sinner? The one I was going to try, but then I just bought a server instead, was UpCloud. They look pretty nice. UpCloud. I probably can give you a... Hold on, let me go into my UpCloud account, because I think I can give you a referral thing. Not that I really use it, but so I'm not sure referral really helped me, but how do you do a referral? Oh, how do you do that? Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm sure there's a way to do referrals. Account, referral program, my referral code. There you go. Try that. Try UpCloud. It looks nice. Could be good. Who knows? I'll probably use it for some stuff in future, but I don't have any need for a VM right now that I've got this new computer. And yeah, that was it. It was good. So maybe I'll do a bit of Linux stuff on a stream. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know if you think you'd enjoy that. Be a bit of a different change of pace from Gleam. You'll see me being confused a lot more. What are you going to do with your uni box? The reason I decided to buy it to upgrade my existing very small, that's a Raspberry Pi actually, my existing home server, is I want to stop using Google Photos. I think Google Photos is a nice service, but I don't like that they've, first off, there's not much storage on it, the free tier, and I don't like that it keeps putting more adverts in it for their like Google Premium thing, where it gives you a bunch of like AI editing features. I don't want to open my Photos app and see adverts. It's annoying. And also I'm just worried, like I've been locked out of a Google account before. I've never got access to that Google account. I want to have as little stuff being outside of my control as possible. If I got locked out of this Google account that I'm using, this one I'm streaming with at the moment, that would be a disaster. So I want to really only have YouTube here, and that's it. So the main things I need to move are Google Photos, Google Drive. I use Gmail, not really. I use it to log into Google things, that's it. And Google Sheets. And I've got some ideas about Google Sheets, so it would be quite a fun Gleam project. So yeah, so there you go. That's what I want to do with it. I think I want to try Image, which looks nice, although it looks like a pain in the ass to deploy. Who knows? They might kill Google Photos. Yeah, exactly. Like if you use a corporation software, you have the whims of whatever the corporation decides to do. They may decide, oh, this isn't profitable next year, and they decide to change it in some way that inconveniences you, or get rid of it entirely, like they did with. Let's list the things that Google have killed that I was using: Google Reader, Google Domains. I nearly got a Stadia thing. Nearly. I'm so glad I decided not to. Google Inbox, that was really good. Oh, my cat's being really cute. He's doing a little. He's like kneading bread. What do you call that? Making. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's all subbed. Ah, thank you. Making biscuits. That's it. He's there like this, but like way cuter. You on SUSE right now? Tumbleweed, nice. I went for Micro OS. Looks very nice. He's getting ready for Christmas. Oh, he's so cute. He's just. I need a cat cam, but that would involve letting you see. I'm standing in my bedroom right now because that's where my desk is. I don't have the desk in the living room, and I live in a London flat, so I don't have another room. Well, I don't want people to see where I live. I live in Revershall. That's what this background is. Isn't Revershall beautiful? Yeah, I'm in Revershall. Oh. All right, so cool. So maybe we'll do Linux streams in the future. A thing I'm kind of interested in is making some. I'd really like to make some deployment tooling for Gleam specifically. And there are some really good bits of kit out there. Let's have a look. So, where is the thing? Where I pick? Where the thing? Oh no, cancel. Where is the thing where I do the thing? Safari. Haha. Right. So there is Kamal, I think it's called. This is from Basecamp. Is that what they're called? I think that's what they're called. It looks very nice. It's quite clever. It's got a nice approach where it, what does it do? I'm not sure how it works. Can't remember. It deploys traffic. Does it use a registry? I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice little tool for deploying to a server. And there's a similar one called Sidekick Deployment. That's not going to work. Oh, here's Sidekick Deploy. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So this is like another one that's quite similar, but it's running in Go. Again, so again, traffic and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like this model of like, here's a server, deploy some stuff to it. I think it's very cost efficient. I think it'd be very easy to manage. I think it's a really good fit for small business. I think it's a really good fit for hobby projects. I think it's a really good fit for medium businesses, to be honest. But I think you could do some cool things with like a Gleam specific one. So I think you could have, or Beam specific. You could have some nice features around clustering. You could have some nice features around tracing. You can have features around like the kind of production debugging that you can get in the Beam that you can't really get in other languages. That would be nice. And I think it'd be quite a fun little project. And it'd be really nice if you could let me set my editor thingy up. La la la. Here we go. It would be, oh no, don't download an update now. It would be really nice if you could say like Gleam run deploy and like pretend it did something. It'd be really nice if you could do that. That'd be wicked. So like Gleam add deploy thing, and then Gleam run deploy, and then boom, you've got a thing. That'd be really nice. And it'd be really cool if you could like deploy a Wisp Luster app, and it comes with baked into it like exception tracking, some like traffic monitoring stuff, some amount of log retention, like all the stuff you want, just be there. That'd be really cool. Hey Scorpion, how's it going? Hey Nina, welcome. So yeah, lots of lovely ideas for the future, but I just don't have time to do it yet. I did start on a sort of like an admin UI for Wisp applications, but I just haven't done enough yet. So let's head over to the OTP repository, which is where, oops, my window's not quite, there we go, not quite lined up properly. Task, I want task. Like being able to catch a stream for once. Yeah, it's cool doing streams at different times of day. So this is the evening for me now, so people who would be here in the morning, who wouldn't be here in the morning can now catch this one because it's the evening. Lovely. So let's write test to describe what we want. So what do I want to call it? Oh, you know what would be really good inspiration? Like, just forget this for a second. Let's go over to the JavaScript one, because they've got a promise module. And it has, so it has await 2, await 3, await 4, await 5, await 6, and await array, and await list. Okay. Okay. We could copy the API. It's like await list, the name we want. Was it going to be await many, or I guess await all? What do we want to call it, folks? suggestions on postcard, or more accurately, suggestions in chat. Hey, folks in the chat. Oh, that didn't go where I wanted it to go. Folks in the chat, tell me your ideas. Await all. Okay, so like, let's just start with like await 2. Let's do that. That seems to be what we're doing in the other tests. So now I want to. Oh, look, they've got different timeouts and things on them. That's interesting. Await forever. Await forever. Okay. And so what? Let's say task 1 is task. What does work do? It sleeps for 15 seconds and then returns the thing. Task async work 1, 2. Okay, just need 2 of them. Jesse's promise all, so await all makes sense to me. Yeah, okay, that does make sense. Hey, Ace Pie, how's it going, friend? I've not seen you in a little while. How's things been going for you? All, okay. Is Gleam a compiled or a transpiled language? That question doesn't really make much sense because transpiled means compiled to a human readable format. So all transpiled languages are compiled languages. And in practice, whether or not something is human readable doesn't mean anything, to be honest. It's not, yeah, you know, encoding something to JSON and encoding something to BSON are almost exactly the same. The difference is that one of them is human readable, one of them is not human readable, but from the computer's point of view, it's exactly the same. So I wouldn't worry too much about transpilation and stuff. It's kind of a pointless word. So if we were to say task.await 2, I will read the binary and call everything transpilation, says Sinner. Hey Louis, did you find a solution for password management? Oh yeah, because I had a big rant on the previous stream. And I was ranting about the fact that Bitwarden, oh, let's move this mouse. No one likes a mouse. Bitwarden is not open source anymore. What? Yeah, I think I might, I don't know. I'm going to wait and see what Bitwarden does. I'm not in a position to move anything just yet because I've already got a project to move. I've got to move all my existing stuff that's on my current home server, which is there, over to my new home server, which is over there. And then once I've done that, I've got to try out a bunch of photo library applications. I'm going to try image first, if I can get it deployed. It's got like 6 components or something, which is really annoying. I wish these things were written in Go or Rust, and it's just like one file, and then everything works. But no, it's written in Node, so it has like a million pieces. Oh, and Python. Ugh. But the software looks really nice. So I'm going to try that out, and if that works, then I need to move my data from Google Photos, and then I probably need to clean the data up a bit. So that's already like way too many projects to be doing at once, alongside my like actual job and, you know, fitness and having a life, which I sort of do to some degree, even though I am a programmer. And so just like moving password management solutions at the same time would be too much. So I'm going to wait for a while, see what Bitwarden does. Maybe they resolve the issue. Maybe they don't. Yeah, we'll take it from there. So we'll pop in task 1 and task 2 and a timeout. Should the timeout go first or last? Oh, and Sid has posted an issue to my mono repo where I have my personal to-do list. There you go. So you can see I was interested. The one that came up that looked most promising, I will share, is, you know, I like this project because it is extremely Unixy. I like Unixy things because they may be hard to get started with, but they tend to be rock solid and don't go anywhere. And because there's no big corporate, you know, it doesn't have a big sexy UI and you know, corporation behind it, there's no chance that an investor or you know, a manager or a senior executive, someone can decide to change things in a way that cause me problems. It's gonna be like this forever. Now, the flip side of this is that it can become unmaintained, which I've heard, amusingly, the Android one, this one, became so Bitwarden stopped being open source this week, and the Android client for this stopped being open source last week. So we currently do not have an open source password management solution on Android, as far as I can tell. Which seems mad to me. You would think that like us open source folks would be all over having good security and passwords and stuff, but no, we just don't do it. We're stuffed at the moment. So that's a bit of a bummer. So we'll see what happens. Like one of these things might mature or like resolve or come back from the dead. But I'm using an iPhone at the moment anyway, so the iPhone one seems to still work. So we just see what happens. But yeah, maybe that's an option. That could be the one I go for. One of the top REST security tools is being maintained. Patching new exploits. Yep, exactly. Someone kind of rudely was insisting that I don't need a password manager on my phone the other day. Like, no, you don't need it. It's like, no, I do. I use it a lot. No, you're wrong. You don't need it. I was like, what? I log into things on my phone. Oh, but things will remember your password. It's like, first off, things I use don't necessarily remember my password. And I might not want them to anyway. But also, like, I just log into things, like, all the time. Like, the internet's full of logins. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, open a laptop and then get the password and send it to myself on Signal, I guess? And then copy and paste. No, miserable. No, I'm not doing that. Right, so here we go. So, timeout. I'm not sure this work thing is what I want to do. Fun. Fun. 2. There we go. And this should complete within 5. Wait, hold on. How do I want to show this? So like, I want to sleep for 5, and I want to sleep for 5, and then so the timeout should so a timeout of 8 should mean that these two things, if they are run concurrently, will succeed, but if they run sequentially, it will fail. And then I can say should equal okay, because it succeeds. I presume these return okay. What do we think? Looks like they do. Should return okay. 1, 2. Nice. And let's extract this into a function called work, which is basically what I had already. Whoops. Come on. Work. You got to put a equals, otherwise it's not an assignment. Cool, so the function doesn't exist. I use 1Password everywhere. That's good enough. Yeah, so 1Password is nice. So this was the rant I was saying the other day. The point of Bitwarden, from my point of view, is that it's free, it's liberal open source software. Awesome. If you take the open source part away from Bitwarden, why would I use Bitwarden? Like, if I'm going to pick a proprietary password manager, why wouldn't I pick 1Password? Because it's a better piece of software, right? So like they've got rid of their USP, pissed off their existing user base, and now they're competing more directly with 1Password. It's just lose. Like, what are they doing? It's just, I don't understand the move whatsoever. I guess the idea is they want to get rid of like freeloaders who are deploying the open source version, but like the people who are willing to run their own server and run their own instance of the server, who need to manage like a computer, a server, and are willing to run Bitwarden's backend on the server, are not the people who are going to go, who are going to see that and go, oh no, I'm not going to do that. They're not going to be dissuaded by such a small thing. They're going to just find a solution. Oh, you're not saying use one password. You're saying use a single password. Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, no. Let's not do that. Where does it say Bitwarden is not open source anymore? All the sources are still available in GPL. They have extracted core the functionality into a package called Bitwarden SDK, which is proprietary. You can no longer build any of their projects without this proprietary package anymore. No, that's not true. The server's open source. The clients are proprietary. It's the opposite of Proton Pass. And they have not said that they are still claiming that they are open source, but it's not by any day. It's source available. It's not open source as anyone knows it. Which is why Wikipedia calls them proprietary now. Yeah, it's like I think they just want to like keep the branding thing of being open source, but they're not actually interested in being open source. It seems to be where we are today. Maybe there's been some new development since. I don't know. I've not really been paying that much attention, to be honest. Hey Louis, have you managed to find yourself enough funding yet to work on Gleam full-time and not think about finances? I mean, I can work on Gleam full-time and I can pay the bills. I always have to think about funding. There's not much I can do about funding, sadly, really. If I want to push funding, I kind of need to make a product and sell it, which is not something I hugely want to do yet. I mean, maybe at some point in the future we'll have to. We're sponsored very kindly by. Oh, where's the button? Where's the button? Lambda Glass, who are the new #1 sponsor, to which I'm very grateful for. He picked up the slack after Fly's term ended. That was very kind of them, but I'm still very far away from being able to pay myself like a full developer, the appropriate developer wage for what I would be getting if I had a normal job in London. So doing all right, not doing as well as I think I should be doing and how much I'd like to. So, swings and roundabouts, really. The show goes on. The show's not going anywhere. And I like to think that I'm an optimist, so I think it'll grow as it goes over time. It's just a bit of a shame that it's, taking quite as long as it is. What can you do, eh? Why not a single password? Share it with everyone so we can all remember. Oh, of course, yeah. We just all collectively share a password. It'll make things much easier. Do you have any opinions on the open source pledge thing of recent? I don't know what the open source pledge is. You're going to have to give me some context. Andrew Top, hello over in YouTube chat. Right, I've got to write some code now. I don't really want to. I've been putting off making this function for ages because it's kind of fiddly. Right. To do stuff. Document test. Right, so try await. Oh no, fun await. Oh, await is the one that panics. I think this whole module might need some work, to be honest. But anyway, let's do this. So, so this should be called try await 2. Try await 2. So let's grab try await. Let's grab this fella. 2. Yeah, the time goes at the end. So task 1. And let's call this T. Oops. Oh dear. T1, T2, T1, T2. Nice. Evening. Hey, Ready Player Parker, how are you doing? Here is the open source pledge. Let me take a look at it. Oh, we're reacting to things now. How exciting. I like the artwork. Whether you're a CEO, CFO, CTO, or just a dev, your company surely depends on open source software. It's time to pay the maintainers. I like it already. That sounds really good. TLDR. Tilde. Oh, it's like the character. Tilde, okay. Pay open source maintainers. The minimum to participate is $2,000 per year per developer at your company. Okay. Publish a report saying what you do. Okay. Oh, Laravel's here. Nice. So of these, I've heard of Sentry and I've heard of Laravel. I don't know what the other ones are. Do the right thing, support open source. Where's the details? It says like TLDR, but like, where's the whole thing about? Open source. So what do we want to do? We have a shared commitment to paying the maintainers of open source software for the software we consume. Our goal is to establish a new societal norm in the tech industry. Nice. Of companies paying open source maintainers so that burnout and related security issues such as blah, blah, blah can become a thing of the past. Love it. I think this is extremely important. I've been saying this for years. It is absolutely preposterous to me that companies build on top of all these existing open source projects and they give absolutely nothing in return. Not just because I think it's kind of a, it's a bit rude, but also just like, you want this stuff to continue working. Like, if I'm using, a web server or something in production, I want to have confidence the web server is continue to work and everything's going to be, gravy. I mean, look at Rebar. Like, Rebar's a tool made by two folks who are not employed by any official or like Erlang organization or Ericsson or anything like that. Most of the work is being done for free. That sucks. They should be being paid by Ericsson, I try and pay for the things that if I see someone's got GitHub sponsors, I sponsor them for like a couple of dollars, but like, I'm not a company. I don't earn anywhere near as much money as I should. It's rubbish, really. But yeah, if I was in charge of like a company or an engineering department, I think it'd be really important to spend an amount of money that is relatively insignificant for a company, but extremely meaningful for independent developers on just supporting them. This goal here of establishing a new societal norm is so important. It needs to just be a thing that we do. Really, really, really needs to be normal. I don't really know how you get there. It's going to be hard. What about other ways of supporting open source? What other ways might they be talking about, do you think? Some companies support open source by hiring developers to work on open source software, by giving gifts such as cloud computing credits. Okay. We agree that developer time and gifts in kind are valuable and important. Only cash payments caught to a pledge, because the point of a pledge is to get money to underpaid and overworked members of the open source projects. The maintainers of software we can rely on to build, but pay. If the maintainers of software we rely on can pay the bills, we will have a healthier, fairer, and more stable, more secure open source ecosystem. That is true. That is all true. They're missing on something like I think is fairly important though. First off, no one has ever given me cloud. No one's ever offered me credits for anything. Is that true? Plausible. Let me have an account for free of the bottom tier. So that's very kind of them. So that's like $15 or something like that, which is very, very grateful received. But I don't think anyone else has ever given me anything. GitHub Copilot, I don't use it, but I have access for Copilot's auto completion stuff. I find it very annoying. Yeah. But to focus on the developers working things in their own time is that people contributing, people opening issues and making pull requests and stuff, generally that's not reducing my workload. Generally that is increasing my workload. I am not going to have a more relaxed time because I have more pull requests. I spend the majority of my time triaging pull requests to start with. So don't get me wrong, it's important and good, and I do want people to be making pull requests to Gleam things. I think it's really important that kind of contribution grows. Gleam is going to outlive me, I hope. So it can't just be me. It's really important that we get people working things and maintaining things and getting comfortable and using things and getting invested in that way. All those things are really important, and some minority of those contributors will go on to become people who overwhelmingly take stress away from me. That's brilliant. Like, all the core team members are fantastic in Gleam, for example, because they make contributions to make my life easier. Awesome. Make Gleam better for everybody, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them. But the majority of them, they just, it takes a lot of time. So it doesn't really meet the same needs. It's important, but it's not in any way an alternative to giving money. Like, it doesn't help me relax or pay my bills or anything like that. How would it work with the dependencies that come with the open source things I use? Well, I don't think they say anything here about how you would pick. It just says give money. So it'd be up to you to decide how you want to do it. Like, maybe you would list all your dependencies and just like divide it evenly, or maybe you'd pick some really important ones that are impactful for you, or maybe do it randomly, or maybe let your developers pick which ones that are their favorites and they can like redecide every month or whatever. That could be fun. Give it to your employees and let them pick what they want. That could be cool. What payments are eligible? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just pay people. I dig it. Does it list who the people are somewhere? Members, here we go. Oh, look, they say, oh, wow, oh, look at this. Oh, this is great. How much money are they giving per developer? That's so cool. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's so much money. Okay, so what is that? That's like So what is it? That would be what's it? 3704 times, how many devs have they got? 3, 4. Oh my gosh, that's so much money. That's like, they're given $500,000 to their dependencies. That's amazing. Whipping out Erlang for the calculator. Yeah, and I always forget to put the dot on so it doesn't work. The power of the beam. You can multiply numbers. Oh, that's a recent addition. That's cool. This is really cool. I would love to. Oh, these people have one developer, and they're giving. Oh my gosh! Look. These folks have one. Look at that. That's so good. That's so good. I love it. Way to go, folks. You're all awesome. Yeah, I really like it. I don't know what I could do here. Well, like, what do I do? I'm not in a position to pay, so I'm just going to be like, hello, please give me money. I will happily accept $2,000 per dev. Yeah, this is great. This is so cool. I wonder what they do. Like, what does Chief Tools do? Nice. Nice. Do I know plenty of companies that use Gleam in prod already? I know some companies. People tend not to tell me things. I tend to find out last, which I find quite funny. People assume that I know what's going on in the Gleam world, and frankly, I do not. So assert owner. So we want to check the first one. We want to check the second one. And now we want to excuse me. How does this work? Oh, hey! Thank you very much for the follow. Oh, I didn't think I thanked Jack Thompson for following me 13 minutes ago. Sorry about that. I'm very late on that. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. And Asaki Mutt. Thank you. The thing I don't understand here is oh no, is this going to be more? This might be more involved than I thought it was going to be, because let's look at what async does. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to change things before I can even get to a point when I can write this new function. But okay, so because we're going to need a selector, and a selector is a way of it's like a selective receive in Erlang, but rather than it being syntax, it's data. And so it's a data structure that describes what messages you're interested in receiving at this point in time. And it scans through the inbox and it pulls out the messages you want. Cool. The bit that is tricky here is I want to combine some selectors together, but it looks like that a task at the moment hard codes its selector. So I'm going to instead have to have a subject and a okay, yeah, I'm going to have to put the two subjects in I'm going to put the subject in the monitor, and then I'm going to have to construct the selector on demand. Okay, so let's comment this out for now, and no, let's just comment it for now, and then we'll try and make this work. Oh, look, there's an await menu here. Publish a Gleam book. I've been told books are not, so I do want to publish a book, and it is my plan. I was hoping to have started it by now, but I haven't. I've been told books are pretty awful for making money, though. I think a book would be advantageous for people to learn. I think that'd be really wonderful. I think it also just add an air of authenticity to the ecosystem to have a a physical book. It's kind of silly, but it makes things feel a bit more real. That'd be nice, and that'll encourage people to get involved. And it's a bit of fun. I really like books, but I don't think it's going to be a way to make money. I think it'd be kind of the amount of effort that goes into making a book. I suspect it would be kind of a loss, really. Is this NeoVim? This is NeoVim, yeah. Would you do it like crafting interpreters where it can be viewed online, but paid for a physical copy? I think I'd probably just sell all of it. I mean, if you wanna learn Gleam, so if I was going to write a book, the book I would write to start with would probably be just an introduction to Gleam, maybe an introduction to functional programming with Gleam. Teach one, teach the other, and that information is already online. So I think I would just sell everything. Like a fairly conventional way of doing it. Crafting interpreters is interesting because the stuff they're talking about isn't really online. Hey Marcodes, how you doing? NeoVim looks a little too hardcore for my IDE reliant ass. I mean, what's the bit that you would be missing? I've got all the same bits. I've got, I can hover and, I can do things. I've got completion. It's all the same pretty much these days. Right, so what have I got to do? I'm going to have to change all this stuff. Oh, but there is, you can hold the monitor inside it. Oh, it's a selector. So if we just say this is a subject. And this is a subject of value. And then we're not using the selector type anymore. Subject. Okay. Ah, yes, subject. Lovely. You don't even use your mouse. No, it's just habit though, you know. You can learn after a while. I mean, I watch people use the mouse and I'm like, wow, how did you do that? That looks really hard. Like, oh, man, you keep having to like move your hands in interesting ways. It's just like whatever you've been used to. I've been doing this for, you know, I've been like not using the mouse much for, gosh, lots and lots and lots of years. So it's just what's comfortable to me. If you're coming from a world where you've never used functional programming before, like any other O language, the language tool doesn't cut it. It shows syntax. Yeah, it shows syntax, shows features. You know, I think it'd be good to have people writing about functional programming Gleam online. That'd be really nice. Maybe we would do that, and maybe we would release the content online. I mean, it also comes down to what the publisher wants to do, because you know, it's not just me. The book would be a partnership with a publisher. So what I want to do here. Nice. Lovely. Okay, so let's put the selector here. Cool. Does that still work? So I've adjusted it to not hold a selector inside, now holds a subject inside. Let's see what that does. Does it still work? Oh, it still works. That's exciting. Louis trying not to reveal the age. His age using the Vim usage. Okay, so I'm 33. It's my 34th birthday. Soon in January. Whoa, hey! I mentioned my birthday and I get a sub. It's my birthday. 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 Come on. Thank you very much, Balverine. Thank you very much. Vim motions are so ergonomic. Also, customizing stuff and understanding it has its benefits. Yeah, it feels easier to me. That's why I do it. Thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it. What are you doing, Marcos? I've been using Vim since, I don't know, maybe 11 years, something like that. How did you get a Gleam icon in near Vim? Do I have a Gleam icon? Oh, I do. Oh yeah, but it's like a funny Gleam icon. It's like it's just like a generic Starver face. It's not actually the right. It's not Lucy. It's not R star. It's like a different star. Oh, cool. So that refactoring worked. That's nice. Now I can do this. So I need to build a selector. Oh no. Louis married to Gleam and Vim. What? What? So let's give this a tag. Oops. Tag. So now if we're going to extend it to task await, what's it called? It's called brain. Think about things. It's called await. What's my what? Await 2. There we go. Right. If we need to extend it to weight 2, we need to be able to know if it's from the first one or the second one. So we need some way of tagging it. So if you want to, if you want to type that has got one variant, that's nil. So the tag is nil, and the message goes here. The tag is nil, the message goes here, and we don't care about what the tag is in either case. Okay. Right, so let's go over to here. Let's grab the selector. And then we want to have a type that has 2 variants. Well, that's Boolean. Boolean. True. So the first one is true. Task 1. And this one is also going to be true. Task 1. And then we're going to pop. Oh, do we actually need to care about which? We don't actually need to care about the from subjects, which one's which, do we? No, because we can just tell that from the, from the monitor. That's one we don't care about. Okay, so we can get rid of the tag for that one. No. Yes, okay. So we select the process down for, oh no, this is the, where am I going? From subject, nil. Right, here we go. Here's my code. So now I don't care about the monitor ones because they're always going to be the same. And then I do care about for the return values. They should be true and false. Oh, but they're going to be different. Okay, so this tag system doesn't work. That's just rubbish. Okay, let's undo all that then. La 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 la. I'm gonna need to make a new message, which is gonna be like message. I'm just gonna have to make a message per one. That's gonna be a bit annoying. Out of curiosity, being a Gleam boss, does that mean you have a proper business entity set up in the UK and all that admin stuff? I only assume because you have some funding, etc. So the way Gleam works is that it doesn't earn enough money for me to need to set up a business in the UK, I believe. However, I used to be a software consultant. And so I would have contracts with businesses do consulting and contracting for them. And so because of that, I had a limited company because I wanted limited liability, and a bunch of financial stuff as well. So I have a business that was dormant, so just sort of slowly leaking money that I used for that. And so recently I decided to start using that for all the Gleam stuff, even though it financially didn't really make any difference whatsoever. But yes, I do. The idea being that, if we started to... Well, no, actually, no. It has been useful for... I have invoiced companies. I have invoiced a few companies a little bit for Gleam. I thought in future this would start to become more common. I could invoice as a individual, but it doesn't... There's things to consider, like having limited liability is really important, I think. If you're ever doing any business, you want to have limited liability because a fuck up doesn't mean that you, things are really bad. They go, oh no, I've bankrupted the business. That sucks. Okay, I'm going to do the paperwork. Business is going to fold. That's really uncomfortable. I lost a lot of money. Oh, damn rubbish. If you don't have limited liability, oh no. Oh, things have gone really badly. I've ruined my entire life. You want this company to have the debt. You don't have the debt. It's two quite different things. It means you end up with a quite different risk profile. And in future, I want to be able to sell something, maybe like some sort of enterprise support plan, training programs, that kind of stuff. UK is brutal in small business. I don't know what you mean by that. UK is one of the best countries in the UK. UK is one of the best countries in the UK. UK is one of the best countries certainly in Europe for small business. It's very easy to set up a business. The finances are pretty lightweight. There's not much bureaucracy. It's all quite cheap and easy. If you try and set up a business in like Central Europe, it's setting up a business in the UK, I think it's like £50, £100, something like that. Not very much. In certain like European countries, it's like £2,000, €2,000 rather. And I think you need to have like, I don't know, like detailed business plans and stuff. Like it's all really quite challenging. UK is really good for money. Like that's the one thing we do really well is financial systems. Everything's very slick and easy in the UK. Taxes are high though, right? I mean, like, not especially. Like, I'm of the opinion that I prefer the European system of having slightly higher taxes and then having higher quality public services. I don't like the fact the UK is going in the direction of lowering taxes and having worse public services, because of the way that economy, like, we're programmers, we know this, like, because of the way economies of scale works, if things are organized at a greater scale, it's cheaper overall. So like in America, in the United States, people pay significantly more for healthcare than we do in the UK because they're doing it individually. That hurts. Like, I want to pay out of it in tax money, and then it's cheaper overall. I support taxes because I am cheap as hell. T2. Right. So we've got a monitor one. We have from subject 1, from subject 2. There we go. Where's my message? Await error. Oh, excuse me. Have I just edited the one I actually want to keep? Yes, I did, because I'm in Egypt. I'm in Egypt. It's a lovely word, Egypt, isn't it? But yeah, so in the UK specifically, business taxes are pretty low. They're the lowest they've been in a very long time. So that would be an advantage of me putting everything through Gleam. I as a person, as a citizen, would pay more tax than the business would. So if I put everything through the business, it'd be cheaper. If you were so inclined. This is really annoying because now I need to tag them in these silly ways. Oh dear. Okay. Right, now that kind of makes sense. Okay, right, so let's make a subject. How come your language server is so responsive and mine gets stuck from times? I'm not using a different one. Like, if you can tell me any times it does get stuck, that'd be really useful, because then I can fix that. I don't know what, it should be instantaneous, like it's pretty fast. I can't imagine when it wouldn't be. So M2 from monitor, M2 from subject 1, M2 from subject 2, whoops, subject 2. Yeah, what are you doing when it gets stuck? In Germany, it's massively more expensive and you have a lot of ongoing cost. I basically don't have any ongoing cost for my business. I pay tax on profits, but for when my business was dormant, I pay another company some money to re-register it every year and to use their address instead of mine as the correspondence address. It's just I pay for a postal forwarding service because I didn't want people to have my address. That's it. That's the only thing I pay for when it's dormant, I think, that I can think of. It's very cheap to have a business in the UK. Oh, this is just wrong. Look what I've done. This is wrong. So that must be task 1 as well. So pop the selector in here. 1. Oh, and now I need to have some sort of receive loop. So I need to say like fun try, await 2, loop. Loop. I'm going to call it a loop, even though it's not really a loop. It's only going to loop over two things. So what do I need here? I need to have a selector. Oh, I also need the timeout as well. Okay, so we're slowly getting there. I want to know when your language server got stuck. Like, I'm really curious. So selector. Ah, we do need the selector. What is it? It's the message to. There we go. T1, T2, and then we I'm not sure what else I need to have in here. Let's just go with that, and then I need to have the actual values. So I need to have T1, which is going to be an option of T1, and a T2, which is an option of T2. And it's going to return whatever the heck this thing is going to return. Didn't I import you? Oh, yeah. I wonder what that UUID was it just suggested. That looked very funny. When does it get stuck? When does your language server get stuck? I want to know. I didn't think it ever got stuck anymore. I didn't think it could get stuck. What are you doing? Tell me the things. You can't bait me like that and then not tell me. So, what do we want to say? We want to say if we have T1, T2. So if they're both sum. We do something. Otherwise, we want to do something else. And I need to add the timeout stuff. I'll add the timeout stuff last. Okay, so if they are both there, we want to return them. His Twitch chat got stuck like his language server. Oh. Hey DPX001, how you doing? Good to see you. Is your theme available for VS Code? I am using... How do I find themes? I thought it was you. No. UI. Oh, it was. I am in the right place. I thought there was a color scheme preview. Okay, I'm using Dusk Fox. That's the name of the scheme I'm using. So I presume there's a version of that for VS Code. It seems pretty likely. So what if we haven't got both the things? Excuse me. You need to cough loudly into your microphone. That's what you need to do. Try a way to loop, and we're gonna have none and none. La 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 la. Right. Okay. Cool. So now we have a. We get the selector. We need to pass the timeout. Timeout is gonna be. No, we don't need a timeout. Do we? I think we can just do select forever because we have a timeout in the form of that timer. So that means we can get rid of this. Right. M1 from subject is not in scope here. Oh, yes, that's right. It's just called from subject. From subject. What is the X? That's not very. Oh. Is it meant to be an M2 from subject? What do you mean? Why isn't that defined? M2. Oh, it's because there's meant to be a... So I need to have the... Hello all. Good, really interesting topic. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it. This is slightly hairier programming than I wanted it to be. It's a little bit, oh god, oh, I need to use my brain. Oh no, I don't like using my brain. I'm only smart for money. I'm not smart on my own time. So I probably need to pass the tasks in then, don't I? So I say like task 1, task 2. It's getting a bit big. It's getting a bit big now. I'm not a massive fan of that, but that's okay. So if it's from the first one, we want to demonitor the task 1 in this case, and we want to demonitor the task 2, and then we want to loop again with the selector and sum of t of x. There we go. And then t2, and then task 1, task 2. Lovely. And we do exactly the same in the other one, except we put it here. Because we have type 2 in this case and type 1 in this case. Lovely. And it's complaining that this is returning the wrong type. Is it? Is it? Oh, it's because this is wait forever, so it's not actually possible to return these errors. Nice. Good morning, little British guy. Hey, Waffles. Hey, oh my god, look at the icon. Look at the icon in Twitch chat. That's just the cutest thing ever. Oh my gosh. So good. So good. How you doing, friend? Good to see you. Got a little Julian cat thing going on. That's really cute. I didn't think of that. I gotta try and add all the Lucy things to Twitch chat. That's a good idea. Having to work in HMRC, I can say it's not slick and easy. Shivers in PGC. You work in HMRC. That's cool. I love the work that HMRC do. That like even just in the like, how long am I doing this? Like 6 years. I've been 5-6 years of running a business. It's got way slicker. Like it was not too bad to start with, but now it's like really good. Compared to yeah, I guess it was Julian from the fact you've got like a little Julian emoji. Hey Haley, Louis has 2 stream fits: tank top and lesbian flannel. That's not streaming. That's just me in general. Like those are my 2 outfits. AI Sense, it's going well. We're doing a bit of concurrent programming, which is like way more complicated than it should be. I should have implemented this function like a year ago, but I haven't. I just haven't. That's a shame. Oh well, what are you going to do, eh? So, we got a type mismatch. It's because it's from monitor. It's the M2 monitor thing. Okay, so now we've got an unused variable here because if they have both resolved, then we want to return both of them. I thought I already wrote this. I guess I didn't. The task crashed without sending vision. Okay, so in this case, I need to do kill the other one. And I also need to have to do timeout case. Nice. Does this work? Oh, yay! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! How exciting! Yeah, that's good enough. Ship it. I mean, it doesn't have any of the things I said was the point of this thing. Lucy is definitely the best mascot. Correct. Corporate ? At least Microsoft open source it now. What are we talking about here? What's the corporate thing? I think I phased out and wasn't paying attention, so I'm not sure what we're referring to. How dare they? Do. Right. So Timeouts. We're going to need send after. Do we have send after in this code base? Process or send after. Okay. Okay. Can you cancel that? It does. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, 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 yes. So, oh, there's so many messages. Timeout subject. Process dot new subject, and we need to send to the timeout subject after the timeout. Course, it's just too complicated, this. Okay, so we've got a timeout. Lovely. And now we need to also select this. So timer. Empty timeouts. Oh, no. This needs to, so this is like nil or something. Nice. Okay. Okay. And we have the case where we get a timeout. I told my co-workers about Gleam last week. They thought it was cool. Hey, that's great to hear. Get into production and sign up to the open source thing that we read earlier. What was it called? This thing, not Chief Tools. Sign up to the open source pledge and give me $2,000. I need money. I do like this. I really hope it catches on. Endorsements. What are endorsements? We maybe need, like the Gleam Foundation says. Okay, yeah, I need to like do something about that. What do your co-workers work with mostly? Good question. I'm curious about that. Do you think they could move over to Gleam? Maybe. All right. So in the event that it times out, to kill them both. Nice. Expected no arguments. M2 timeouts. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's just do that. Oh, I can just send. I can just send the timeout. There we go. And I need to give the timer into. Oh gosh, it's too big. Timer. Nice. So, give me some money as well. Yeah, give empty code some money. Stuff it. Support empty code, not me. Oh. Oh no, I didn't actually run the test. That's so upsetting. That's so upsetting. I didn't run the test. Oh, is it gonna... Oh, it still works though. I'm a good programmer. Give me your money. Okay, start with timeout. And I kind of need to kill the processes? Is that what I'm going to do? Is that this plan? There's all sorts of like little edge cases in the semantics of tasks that I'm not entirely sure what the appropriate way to do it is. So how do I want to test this? I'm going to see, they should finish within, neither should finish within, how can I test this? How am I doing this? X. Nil. Oh, sleep can just return something. Okay. And now I want to... So this one should pass in time. This one shouldn't. If I give it 5 seconds. 5 milliseconds, rather. And... I don't know if... bang. Oh. Oh. Why did it... Oh, oh no. What? I love eUnit. Yeah, eUnit doesn't like tear down things properly. We need a better test framework. Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure about this. Like, are we supposed to kill them or not? Try. So try awaits. If the value is not perceived with the timeout, the task progress an error is returned. I don't think this actually does protect against crashing. I'm not sure I think that's just wrong. I think that's right. I can't bring people to adopt Golang for C++ and Julia for Python. I might not be doing much better with Gleam. Old languages die slowly. Yeah. Is your plan to make await n and also an await many or something for the same type? Yes. I'm planning to replicate the API that Promise has. I'm just not entirely sure. Maybe like some kind of composable API is actually better than just having like a bunch of await numbers. Like maybe you could do the same. Maybe you want to do the same like curried function trick. Maybe. Or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting idea. So try wait doesn't. If there's a timeout, it just hands it back. It just waits. Process license doesn't set. Okay. What do we think the right thing to do is here? Like if it times out ever, if it doesn't finish in time, do we always kill it? What does Elixir do you think? So, oh wait. Wait, receive. I can't go to definition, that's annoying. So, It doesn't trap exits. If you get a... Oh, it monitors. Okay, so it monitors beforehand. That's what the ref is. If you get a down, that's from the monitor. Then you kill the current process, saying, hey, look, things have gone wrong with the same reason. Okay. Oh, I really miss Gleam's language server. I can look it up though. I can do like IEX. Wait, what is reason? Wait, is reason def p reason? Ah. Oh, okay. Okay, so it just doesn't do anything. Okay, never mind then. Okay, so it just passes the exact reason back through to the exit, and kills the current process with that particular reason. If you haven't got it within the timeout, then we demonitor it. Oh. It doesn't kill the task? Huh. It leaves them running? Is the timeout the same as placing a timer on one of the tasks and selecting among that? Let me try reading that again. Is a timeout the same as placing a timer as one of the tasks and selecting among that and the actual task? Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'll show you their definition of awaits many. Yes, here we go. Okay. This is like the function we want to replicate. This is the Elixir version. You don't have to worry about types, so the implementation is simpler. Here, they do the same thing, but they send a timer. And come on, you. And the reason why we don't, when you're awaiting many, put, just like after time out, blah, 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 is that in order to receive multiple messages, you have to call receive multiple times. And that means the timer would get reset each time you have a message. So in the worst case, it would be your timeout times the number of tasks that you're awaiting. But we want to have one timeout across all of them. So we need to move that timekeeping outside of the loop. And we do that by having a timer send a message to us later. Rails 8 looks interesting. The syntax is kind of weird. Oh, you're gonna have to. I can't tell if you're joking that I'm writing Rails 8 or if there is a Rails 8 with weird syntax. Like, if there is, I want to see the gossip. Tell me the thing. Are you a self-taught developer? Says Basse Pedler. Yes, I am. I'm self-taught. I did biology at university and I dropped out. Okay. So they don't. Why do they demonitor the tasks? Like, if you're just going to exit, why do you bother demonitoring? I wish. Is there any good OTP people? Oh, thank you. They said my work's impressive, and they like watching me from Norway. I hope you like watching me from anywhere in the world. But thank you very much. That's really kind of you. It took me longer than I'd like to realize that this was Elixir and not a wacky new Gleam syntax. Yeah, this is Elixir. Okay, Erlang and Elixir people in the chat, why do we demonitor the processes, the task processes, before exiting? Because doesn't a monitor do nothing if the monitor process has exited? Is it because you could trap the exits? Can you call an exit yourself and trap that? Is that the argument? I don't understand why you wouldn't get rid of the monitors. You got to send me a link to whatever this new Rails thing is, friend. Am I going to stop and look at Rails now? I guess I am. Rails 8. Is that today? What? That's the future. Isn't that in like 3 days? Oh, September. Oh yeah, no, it's the 10th month. Oh, it's October. Oh. Oh, I might think I might have released something with a changelog saying it was September earlier today. Okay, so what have we got? Kemal 2. What's the difference between Kemal 2 and Kemal 1? I mean, I think that's a great move. I think having deployment tooling being part of the setup is really nice. I approve of that. That's lovely. I don't know what thruster is. Okay. Okay. So they've written some Go to improve the performance of their Rails stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I guess so. Handles ASIC caching, ASIC compression, means there's no need to put Nginx or any other. I mean, but they're already. That's kind of silly because they're already putting there's already a cache. Sorry, there's already a reverse proxy in Kemal in terms of traffic. So they were previously going reverse proxy. No, previously going reverse proxy application. Now they're going reverse proxy application. Okay, sure. Come out to because a proxy. Oh, it does. Okay, so Kemal 2 doesn't use traffic anymore. Okay, now I understand. Okay. Why didn't they make Kemal proxy part of thruster? Why did they bother doing it twice? La 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 la. Yeah, sounds nice. Sounds nice. I was gonna use Caddy. I like Caddy. and it's got secrets handling. Okay. How handy. Living in the past. I really am. I so am. Which is why I like this. Like deploying to a server. Nice. Traditional. Good old-fashioned traditional values. Reduce number of dependencies. What have they got rid of? Okay. I don't like the polling. That's going to a bunch more CPU load. Solid cache. What are these written in then? Right, Ruby. Oh, okay. It's just I see. They're just using Postgres as a cache, which they can do more comfortably because they're deploying to one server now, which means that like everything's local, so it's a lot faster. Okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. And a queue thing. Oh, bad news for Sidekick. Really bad news for Sidekick. Like they make most of their money from Rails apps, I think. So no longer being the default queue for Rails is a problem for them, I think. He did make an alternative project called Factory that's supposed to be language agnostic, but I'm not sure it ever really took off. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm sure they do well, but like that's got to be really awkward for them. Still, they were very successful open source projects, so maybe they were right. I imagine Solid Q is fairly basic compared to Psychic, so if you're doing more fancy stuff, then yeah. And SQLite. I mean, if you're deploying to one server, SQLite is a great choice. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And something called prop shaft, whatever that is. Prop shaft is no build. Okay. Yeah, that sounds fine. I can't be bothered to read that. And then something to do with asset stuff that I don't really care about. And generating. Oh, wow. Whoa, they're copying Phoenix. Look at this. This is so cool. Look. Oh, wow. So that's another. This is quite a lot of projects in the Ruby ecosystem, in the Rails ecosystem. They are just getting the need for. Getting rid of the need for. I mean, it sounds like a really solid. Sounds like a really solid release to me. I like all these changes. I don't particularly want to make anything with Rails, but like I would like the Gleam ecosystem in, like, I don't know, 3 years to have all these things. That would be really cool, you know. It's a really solid release. Oh yeah, why is it called solid? Because it used to be called active. Why is it called solid now? Why isn't it called active something or other? Sounds great. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. Solid state memory? I suppose so. Could be. I presumed it was just like a nod to the old, the old OO design pattern world, like solid principles and all that nonsense. I feel like the single site deploy probably made enough to retire. Yeah, the guy's loaded. I'm sure he's fine. Doesn't need anything else, does he? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do. I'm not really a fan of Rails. I don't really like the way it makes you program your business logic. I do like all of these things that are adding to it. I think this is a really nice set of features to include in a application framework, in a web application framework. This is cool. I like it. I think it's great. I'd even be tempted to say, Gleam folks use Kamal, though I don't like that it's still, having a Ruby dependency on your. It is Ruby, right? Yeah, having a Ruby dependency on your, Gleam application for deploying, it's like, I mean, it's okay. It's not the best. I don't love it. I don't love it. Anyway, let's get back to trying working out stuff about Elixir. I don't know why they demonitor things. Rails code architecture sets up a really painful transition for it to mid-sized projects. Yes, exactly. I think Rails scales very badly and obviously people disagree with me. Loads of people are very happy with Rails. I think it scales very badly in terms of the performance of it is sufficiently bad such that you need to spend a lot of time thinking about performance in ways that you wouldn't have to in other ecosystems. It's really good that they have they've thought about things like message queuing and stuff like that, so you move things into the background so you can work around that problem. But in Gleam, you just wouldn't bother. Like, it's not necessary. You don't have to do any of that. You can go way further without having a queue because you can just do the work in the request. It's fine. And most ecosystems can, to be frank. And I think it's very hard to write code that doesn't become challenging to refactor in, Rails with active record, which is the default way of writing it. So, but yeah, I like it. Way to go, Rails team. You've done some cool stuff. Yeah, I like it. I wish I had a team of developers I could pay to make basically that stuff in Gleam. I thought about adding a Gleam sidecar into Docker Compose, but I think people will question why I'm checking a whole different image with Rust and PyYo3. It's pretty invisible. I'm not sure what that means, I'm afraid. What's PyYo3? Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know why. I don't understand. Okay, so it just exits the process. The function I think I'm interested in is called yield, which is like the same thing, except when there's a timeout, it doesn't return anything. Py3 is a Rust lib to write Rust code of Python bindings. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, cool. Hey, SZ3LBI, does that say something? Scissorboy? I don't know, not sure. Hello. Okay, so I guess I don't know why they demonitor. I don't know why. Is exit a helper? I didn't know exit takes 2 arguments because it shows how bad I am at this. Right, exit. This is two arguments, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't see the tuple here. I was like, how does exit take 2 arguments? Exit only takes 1 argument. Okay, they're just wrapping in a tuple. Read it as Shelby. Okay, hey Shelby, I like your name. That's a cool name. I have a problem with my name. Confuses the heck out of people. People think it's Ipil, like I-P-I-L. It's not an uppercase I. It's a lowercase L. It's short for Louis. Why are you writing Elixir? I'm reading the implementation of Elixir's task module because I'm working on the task module in Gleam, and I was like, I'm not sure about this one thing. What do the Elixir people do? Because they've got a very, very, very similar bit of code here. And they do pretty much what I'm doing, which makes me feel better, makes me feel like I haven't missed anything, with the exception of... did they say here? If it's been demonitored or... No. With the exception of when... Okay, so here we go. When they're awaiting a task, so that's something that's done in another thread and sent back to us, in the event that we don't get a response in time and you're using this function, and this is a function that if we don't get a response in time, we crash. That's how we handle it. They demonitor before they call the exit, but like if the monitoring process no longer exists, why would you bother demonitoring? I thought it wouldn't do anything. I could really do with a oh, sorry, Benito, bye-bye. I just saw your message. Oh, 2 minutes ago, so I hope you're still here. So you can hear me say goodbye. But if you've already gone, oh well. Goodbye. Have a lovely night. Oh, hit my mic stand again. I don't understand. I wish we had some good old-fashioned Erlangers in the room so they could tell me these things I don't know the answer. Maybe I could ask ChatGPT. No. Yeah, let's do that. Let's ask... am I logged into ChatGPT? Yes, I am. And make sure I'm... How do we do it? Right. In Erlang, if process A is monitoring process B and process A is about to exit, is there a reason for process A to demonitor process B? Monitor. It's not going to give me a good answer, I'm sure of it. Demonitor. That is spelled correctly, yeah. Better asking Claude nowadays. Open it. I don't know what Claude is. I don't know anything about... Should I just Google Claude? Google? Should I just... I don't like using the word Google. ChatGPT isn't very good at Erlang in my experience. Keeps making functions that don't exist. Okay. Yeah. I'm not really much of an AI person, so I don't know what's best. But let's see what this says here. You do not need to demonitor process B. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought it says. So what's Claude AI? This thing. Oh, I've got to log in. Someone ask Claude. Someone ask Claude the question for me. There you go. And tell me if there's an answer. There must be a reason why they're doing it. I just don't know what it is. I couldn't possibly fathom why. Like, they know the Elixir team are better at OTP than I am. Like, there's just no two ways about it. They're much better at this than I am. So there's a reason. I just don't know what the reason is. Oops. Oh, I didn't know I made any changes. Okay, so let's not demonitor. Let's just go with it as it is. So here is try awaits. We want to send it. Didn't you have the Elixir guys on speeder? No, not really. Okay, so here's an interesting question. How? Oh no. Okay, so. Oh dear. Okay, so if you do the timeout doesn't work here. We can't do a try. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong function anyway. Try await 2. Here's an interesting one. So the point of the try functions is that you can retry. I don't think you can. Like, the idea is if you try await, and if it doesn't succeed, then you can call try await again. I don't think you can with if you're waiting more than one, because let's say, for example, the first one resolves and the second one doesn't resolve, and then you hit the timeouts. And so if you were going to call it a second time, then one has already been resolved and then discarded, and so you only get the second one, and then you're always going to hit the timeout, so it's never going to succeed. Is that what happens in Elixir? So await many. Do they have so it's called yield, try await in Gleam is yield in Elixir. Huh, they do. Yield many. Oh. Oh, their API is different. Oh. Okay. So what's T? Oh, it's a task. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So the API I made is it returns either they both succeed or the whole thing fails, and you get back an okay of both things. What they're doing is they're returning a list and it's full of results. Huh. That's interesting. That makes it way less ergonomic to use. It's probably okay though. The user should choose what to do in case of a timeout when there are many, no? Isn't a bit too much of a primitive from a language? Isn't it a bit too much for a primitive from a language itself? Well, the problem is we want people to be able to wait on multiple tasks at the same time, because that's a common thing people are going to want to do. And the naive way of implementing this is just wrong. So we need to do it like a bit. We need this to be a better way. Just watched the stream and got a bit confused about the title. As I understood it async doesn't exist in Beam languages because the Beam makes sure every process gets CPU time. Am I missing something? In the Beam, everything is async. Everything is async. That's how it works in the Beam. But we're implementing a module called task, which has an API that's, async. It's that same sort of thing, which is not as all-encompassing. So it doesn't introduce function coloring, and it's not all-encompassing as it would be in JavaScript, for example. But in some niche situations, it's still useful. So I'm wondering, should we just implement the crashing one? Maybe we just implement the crashing one. Or do we just, I don't know. What would be the most useful APIs? ATP. So we've said try, so we don't want to kill things. Twitter poll. Okay, so I think this is going to be like this. Too many. Nice. So if we have T1, which is the most useful API, I will abide by the result of this poll. Okay. It's getting a bit complicated, this, but that's okay. We can make it nicer later. So do we just want to select one and the other? It's kind of interesting. We could probably structure this more simply by yeah, okay. I'm like, okay. I kind of want to go back to the original design where you had a selector inside the task, because maybe we could just iterate across the collection of tasks and race. No. Ignore me, I'm a fool. I'm wrong. I'm not to be trusted. La 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 la. Okay, so if one of them goes down. Hello. You trying to spell my name in ill Irishy? There's not enough H's. There's too many P's. Yeah, so I kind of need to know in the timeout branch which one is successful and which one isn't. What's FAQ? What are you trying to get? I haven't added that one to my Twitch chat. So this is complaining that it returns an error, but only really one of them will have errored. What's your near them theme? I'm using Duskfox. I'm using Duskfox. So I kind of need to know which one the monitor's for. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. True. False. And which? Okay, so I don't need to kill them. Do I, when I get an exit, do I continue to resolve the other one? I think I probably should. Isn't this API maybe too bloated, having both timeouts and merging tasks? Why not have merging tasks as a function that returns a task and then you can add... Okay. Why not have merging task as a function that returns a task? Because tasks aren't like promises, you can't merge them. Yeah, tasks don't compose. They're not promises, they're not futures. They're processes. So if you were to if you were to try to abstract, if you're trying to merge two tasks together, that would involve you. No, there's just no way to do it. There's just no way to do it. Or no, you can't do it. There's no way to do it. You just can't. Could you? I don't think you can. I mean, it would end up being exactly this, as far as I can tell. It would be exactly the code I'm writing. Yeah, because like, you know, the Erlang concurrency model and the idea of futures and stuff have almost nothing in common. A task is a process that you have spawned that will send you a message later. That's what a task is. It's an actor, like everything else in Erlang. So you can implement the basics of the async await API in it, but you have radically different semantics in terms of performance, and they do not compose. So I think what I want to have is the actual results here. Oops. But without a 2 at the end. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I have... Okay. So in the event, I have 1. I can add it. Oh, that's horrible. Types make this stuff way more challenging than it should be, which is a shame. You can't always win, eh? Why do I demonitor task 1? Oh, it's because I'm gonna get a reply and I don't care about that anymore. Nice. Very noisy, this error message thing I've got going on here. So in the event that 1 crashes, I need to know which one it is. So let's say this is true and this is false. So in just copy this exactly. La la la. Oh, I can use my new code action. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice? What's the error when it fails? Exit some reason. Okay. Nice. And the last one is this, and so I want to return So it's a function. It takes an option. A pattern match is on the option. Oh wait, I don't need that. I can just like use. I could just say. Is it timeout? Okay, here it is. Option de dunderep. T1. Timeout. Option. Undepth. Timeout. Oops. Timeout. Timeout. T2. Woohoo! And this is oh, that's just a quirk of how the type system works. That's annoying. Cool. And we returned the wrong one somewhere. Expected type T1. Okay, so somewhere I'm returning both of them as being T1, but that's not correct. Oh, it's here I say it's both T1. That might be why it was wrong the whole time. Whoops, I didn't mean to open Gleam again. Expected type this. Is that in my... Where is that happening? In try await 2. Yes, because I changed what the actual return type was there, but I did not here. So this one should be the first one succeeds. Let's give it some values. That'll be clearer. Okay. Nice. So let's say that work takes an X and a Y. Cool. Nice, it works. Man, this syntax looks nice. Thank you very much. I've put a lot of work into the syntax, so I'm glad you like it. And let's test it if the other one, 2 will not finish in time. And this will be 1 will not finish in time. This one is going to be, this one has, yeah, you can, oh, that was the wrong button. You can sleep a very small amount. And this time it should be the other way around. Writing code. Yeah, okay, so it sort of works. That's nice. Interessant. Interessant. We don't demonitor stuff though, do we? We need to do... In the event of a timeout, we need to demonitor everything, which is annoying. Is it? So we could do like process.demonitor process, and it would be task 1 dot monitor. Okay. And that's the only case where it finishes? Yes, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Easy peasy. Okay, nice. That doesn't look so bad. It's going to look worse when I add a third one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. We could only demonitor the ones that haven't resolved yet. Like, does it matter that we call? This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Do I want to try and abstract this in any way? I don't know. Do I want to do the composable? Because we could use the same curried function trick that you have in the first API in the decoder package, which means nothing to people who aren't very into Gleam. And that would enable you to have like unlimited number of things that you can, tasks that you can wait. But at the same point, I don't really feel that that's a particular, I don't think task is like an abstraction we want to encourage huge amounts. Like, it's pretty useful, but it's not the one. It's not great. Like, there are better ways to do like fan out and things. How many do you think would be useful? Like 2, 3? It'd just be copy pasting the code and just adding a few more points into it. I don't know, really. Well, there you go. We've got await 2. Let's add await. Try await many. That's way more work. Well, I can just have 1. Can I do try await 2? I should test it crashing. That's what I should do. Yeah. So, excuse me. Are tasks linked? They are links. Oh, okay. So they can't even exit. I'm not entirely sure why I monitor it at all then in that case. Do we want them to be linked? So in Elixir, they don't necessarily have to be linked because they could be linked to a supervisor, which is interesting. Async. Okay. The task created this function stores only apply and its metadata field, which is internally used to apply blah 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 blah. Oh, I see. Okay. So async. Similar to async 1, except the function to be started is specified by module function args. Okay. What? What? Let's move the mouse away. Oh. What? It creates a supervisor just for one task? Huh. That's really interesting. Why does it do that? Task supervised. Oh no, it's what does it do? How do you start? Oh wow, there's some interesting stuff in here. Oh, so it's not starting supervisor, it's starting a supervised task. Okay, and that is a special process. Oh dear, oh dear. What is the alias thing for? Uh-huh. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is? Aliases were added to OTP fairly recently, and I've not looked at them. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. Is there anything we want to steal from here? So they monitor because you can have your task be they monitor because your task could be linked to not the current process, it could be linked to a supervisor instead. Gleam's task doesn't have that, which means why do we monitor at all? They're always linked. So if it exits, it propagates. So you don't need to handle that case. Hey Majesty, how's it going? So what's the argument in favor of having it on a supervisor? Task developers to dynamically call multiple supervised tasks. Task supervisor dynamically creates multiple supervised tasks. But why would I want that? In the majority of cases, you want to add the task to your supervision tree. Naked is async by passing the name of the supervisor instead of the PID. We encourage developers to rely on supervised tasks as much as possible. Supervised task improves the visibility of how many tasks you're running at a given moment and to enable a variety of patterns that give you explicit control over to handle results, errors, and timeouts. Okay, so Start Child allows you to send a fire and forget task where you don't care about its results or if it successfully completes or not. You could just use spawn in that case, couldn't you? Why would you need that? Using task supervisor async and task await allows you to execute tasks concurrently and retrieve result. If a task fails, the caller also fails. Okay. Using async no link allows you to execute tasks concurrently and retrieve the results or the reason they failed within a given time frame. If the task fails, the caller won't fail. Okay. You receive the error reason on either yield or shut down. So the purpose of having it supervised is monitoring. Is that right? I'm going to get a snack and then I'm going to be back. And I might rip out all of the monitors and that'll make the code simpler because we don't need the code. We don't need monitors because they're all linked. Is that true? I think that's true. Let's see what happens. Okay. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay. 3 minutes. Also, 3-minute break. Bum, bum, bum. See you in a sec, folks. Oh my gosh, I'm on time. Amazing. I'm eating my mouthful. Get you always eat your mouthful. Yeah. Oh god. What am I doing? Why did I unmute? Anyway. Hello. Ta-da. I lead a very luxurious lifestyle. So I've got bread and butter. That looks kind of... that's really unpleasant. Thank you, green screen, for making my food look horrible. It's not even butter, it's olive spread. You too could experience such luxury if you work in open source. Okay. The only thing I can think of for why we might need monitors is if you shut down normal, you making some money from this project? Do you mean Gleam? Do you mean Gleam or do you mean streaming? So I make about $40 from streaming in a month. Yeah. So Gleam's my livelihood. I work full-time on Gleam. I am sponsored very generously by folks over. If you go and click on sponsor, it takes you to GitHub sponsors. We are currently 41% towards my goal of the median tech lead salary in London, UK, the beautiful city in which I live. So we've got a way to go. We do actually have a sponsor who... Oh, there's also like Open Collective. Is that what it's called? This thing? Oh, that's the wrong one. This one? This one? Gleam. No? Okay, well, whatever. There's another one as well. And yeah, so I got another sponsor who goes via everything. I'd really like to get this up to 100% of the median salary. I think I'm at least median, you know? I think I'm at least median. I think I'm alright at this stuff, maybe. But this is enough for me, 41% of that is enough for me to pay my bills. So that's okay. And I want to grow in the future. And yes, I do pay tax on it. HMRC would be very strange if they decided to not charge. Oh, someone's at the door. Hold on. Oh, I hope I don't have to vanish again. Good news! It's a delivery of cat food. How exciting! You'll be ecstatic to hear that. Yeah, so I pay tax, but I make a living off it. It's pretty rubbish for a senior London dev, but it's the thing I want to do, and I think it's important, and I enjoy it, and I'm very lucky to be able to do open source and support myself, really. Because most people doing open source lose money. I guess I've got lost earnings, but I mean, they literally make negative money. Have you watched the talk, The Ergonomics of Programming Language by Evan? Yes, I have. I too am in a very similar situation to Evan, and I've put a lot of thought into it. I disagree with almost all of his conclusions. I don't agree with the things he says in that talk at all. And like, I wonder if he agrees anymore, because like he hasn't released the thing he said he was going to. Well, I guess he didn't say he was going to release it, but I don't know. I don't know what Evan's up to, but I don't agree with his stance on funding. I think he should let people. So like, it's important to play to your strengths in anything. Let's go big. It's really important to play to your strengths in anything, right? And you know, one of the things he was getting at is the idea of making a service where you could deploy Elm applications and make it really lovely, and this would be so good that people would financially support him by paying for this service. And the thing he was worried about is being zucked. This idea that somebody else would come along and implement it better, and then you wouldn't have a business anymore. And I think that is a valid concern. But I think you should also think about the fact that he is a language implementer and designer. He is not a sysadmin. He is not a business person. So making a business that does sysadmin as a service and sells this to people is so far out of your wheelhouse that it puts you in a really uncomfortable, awkward position. And it makes it it's going to make it easy for you to either not provide a good enough service such that the business has legs, or it's going to make it extremely easy for someone to zuck you. Now, on the other hand, Elm has, and especially in the past had even much more so, a really big, vibrant community full of people who want to, who are actively using it in production. A lot of companies were using Elm in production. So I think what you want to do there is lean into the fact that you are really good at making languages. You've made this amazing piece of software. Loads of people are loving it. Loads of people are using it, and they depend upon it. Now, these people want the foundation of their business to, be maintained, work, get good updates, all this stuff. Let those people pay you. Set up a thing where your job is to, manage the software, maintain it, keep it running, help them with their business problems, and they pay you for that. And let them give you money, for things that seem like you were doing anyway. You don't need to make another product to sell it. You can just let people give you money and ignore the whole, direct exchange capitalism thing, and just be a bit more freeform, or just help with that thing that you're doing anyway. I think that's a much better strategy. And I'm going to have some bread. I don't like chewing on air. So yeah, and if nothing else, I think everyone should give people the opportunity to give them money. If people appreciate your work, they'll want to support you. You think of you go to a band's gig, and you buy some merch in part because you want to, you want to have the T-shirt, or whatever. But you also just want to support the band. We all know that musicians make no money, especially especially in the age of Spotify. Spotify has shafted musicians so hard. There's not really money floating about. So you want to support them. If there's a tip jar, you put some money in the tip jar. Same for if you got some good service at the restaurant, you give them a tip. Let people give you money. Why not? What do you have to lose? Literally nothing. It's I don't really feel obligated. You're not obligated. They can leave. They can not do it. I don't give anything to my sponsors. Literally nothing. And it's enough to be enough money for me to live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. That's pretty cool. I could try and sell something. It'd probably be worse. So in future, when Gleam reaches a point that Elm was at, where there is a good number of companies using it in production that are sufficiently mature. We have companies using Gleam in production, but they're all either using it in a small capacity, or the companies are quite young. So we don't have that maturity, that scale yet. But when we have that, we can start looking to other avenues. So suddenly there'll be loads more money in the ecosystem. Have you considered living in... Yeah, people say this, like, have you considered living in a cheaper country? You're saying, have you considered fleeing your home, the place where you were born, grew up, and everyone you know, because you want slightly more money? What? What a terrible trade. I would rather just I don't know, work in a shop. I like it here. I think donations might be scary to lean on for many because it can appear the next day. What, you mean like a paying customer? Like people just leave. My experience of donations is that they are very stable. More stable than selling things is. Because the value proposition is really clear. I give you nothing and you give me money. It's really hard to let someone down if that's the deal. Well, if I'm like trying to give you some quantifiable value, that's much harder to live up against. Yeah, but when we've got that scale that I was talking about, that Elm had, still has really, at that point we probably do want to branch out because there'll be loads of money sloshing around the ecosystem, and there will be people who will, there continue to be people who want to support in this like very free-form way, where there's no like particular direct transaction, but there's going to be a bunch of companies who have money and would be happy to spend some of that money on a thing. And there's lots of options for that thing. That thing could be consulting. It could be some form of support retainer. I think that's how Elixir makes most of their Dashbit, the Elixir company, makes most of their money. Though I don't know the details of that plan. I would love to know the details. What else? Training material is a really good one, particularly video training material. People really like video courses. People really like interactive challenges. People really like things they could spend their training budget on. Like Codecrafters, Codecrafters is a really good place to learn Gleam and Redis and interpreters and things. Click on the referral link. Click on my referral link in the description. So yeah, that's a good example. People spend a good amount of money on that. We could make some really high quality video content teaching Gleam, teaching functional programming, teaching Lustre, teaching Wisp, teaching all these things. It'll work really well. Because we know a lot about those subjects, and I think we're pretty good communicators, the core team. I think we can make some really nice content that'd be well worth spending your training budget on, to train your employees or to get trained yourself, whatever. I think that works really well. Oh, Mormon, thank you for following. I've just noticed. And Glupri. Gosh, I'm really very late in all the follows today, aren't I? I know that Software Mill contributes a lot to Scala tooling and the compiler while being a consultancy company. Obviously the core language has an institution behind it. Yeah, so we're weird. Gleam's weird. We don't have anything behind us. Very unusual. Like Elixir had a consultancy behind it. Scala's got a university behind it. Etc. It's late, Louis stream. Woohoo! Yes, super late, eh? Is it difficult to obtain a driving license in the UK? I'm really curious as to why you asked that. Why do you say that? I don't know. I've not obtained a driving license in any other country, so I can't say how hard or not hard it is. I think it would be cool if Louis, me, Could also make money on the basis of a business running on Gleam too. I appreciate all your work, and using Gleam in a business context would inform the language. Yes, completely. Which is why I really like the idea of, it's one of the reasons I really like the idea of businesses paying a small amount of their engineering budget to their dependencies in order to keep them working well. I think that will be beneficial for both sides of this. Like the company will have better dependencies, and the dependencies are much more likely to respond to, ask for help issues and such. And the maintainers can live. Oh no. Oh dear. The issue is that companies start to pay for free stuff. Exactly. So that's why when we are at that scale, it makes sense to have something there is actual transaction. But that, like, the fact there is value in having some kind of transaction where we make a thing and give it to you doesn't mean there isn't a really good reason to have doesn't mean there's not a really good reason to have nothing also be an option. The fact that a transaction is good doesn't mean that you can't also have a non-transactional option. So do both. Do both. You want to have as many different revenue streams as possible. I've got my sponsorship. I've got a referral link for a thing. I've got the merch store, merch.gleam.run. It's brand new. We're still figuring out the details. It's all a bit confusing. And I've got streaming, where I make a whole, what was it like? I think I made like $40 last month. So much money. Oh yeah, $40. What is that? That's like, what is that? Like five pints. I can buy 5 pints of like, oh yeah, that's a night out. Oh no. Yeah, okay. A few beers. I can buy a few beers with that. It's worth it though. That's nice. I mean, I think I paid for my pay for my green screen probably over the last few months. And I bought a couple I just looked at a light bulb. That's stupid. I've got a light bulb here. I paid for that, I presume. Light bulbs are very cheap, so Oh dear. All right. I guess I should do some like coding. I'm trying to decide if it's worth having the monitors still or not. Bread and olive spread. Very decadent here. I'm not sure we need the monitors. Oh, one more layer. Thank you very much. Always love a follow me. Yeah, I don't know if we need the monitors. Because we're linked, right? The only time I can think of the monitors not being needed is if you explicitly call exit normal. But I think we can just maybe we can just say don't do that. Bread and ketchup. Isaac, that is disgusting. That is absolutely horrible. What on earth are you talking about? Bread and ketchup. Could you imagine? You can tell Isaac's like, 12. How old are you? You're 19. I think you're 23, right? Isn't that true? My flatmates used to have ketchup on toast. I never partook. Good. I'm glad you didn't. That is horrible. By the way, wouldn't a Gleam /OTP/task/collection make more sense? I mean, what API are you thinking about there? You can't. So you can't. There's no way of being generic over a variable number of parameters in Gleam. So, and collections are homogeneous. Is that how you say that word? That feels weird. So you couldn't easily abstract it. At least I can't tell what API you're suggesting here, but like maybe write in a GIST and send it over and we'll figure it out. Very Dumb Dev, which is a name I know is not true, says, not having anything like an institution behind you is a good thing though. No pressure to invent things like a research language like Haskell or Scala. Yes, exactly. And also it means that we're not bound to the whims of any particular company. There's pros and cons. So like, it may seem like, you've got loads of financial stability, you're really great. But a company can just decide you're not worth spending money on anymore. Because fundamentally, a company's goal is to make money. And if they think that your little research project or whatever it is isn't valuable anymore, you're gone. And look at, and I don't know the details of this, so take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. Look at the Lumen/Firefly project, which was a LLVM-based Erlang and Elixir 2 machine code compiler. What an amazing project. And it was going really well. Working really hard. And then the business lost interest. They pivoted to something else. And that whole project, all that work just stopped. And now nothing has come of it, as far as I'm aware. That's a real shame. Didn't happen to the Dart team recently too. I'm not privy I'm not aware of that news, but it's possible that something similar happened to the Dart team. Spaghetti on toast sounds quite nice. Sources, what are we working on? We're working on the task module in Gleam OTP, which is a way of quickly running a computation on a different green thread and getting the result back later. We want to make it so you can wait on two of them at the same time. Dart and Python both got hit. What happened to them? What happened? I want to get rid of all these demonitor stuff. I think we can get rid of all the monitors. It becomes like breathtakingly simple now. Wow, this is like too simple. Isn't there like a... Oh, now it looks funny, like... Try to wait forever doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm going to deprecate this. This doesn't make any sense. Deprecate. Tid, that's why it doesn't work. Okay, deprecated. Use await forever. Don't need the monitors anymore. On it door. Don't need that, don't need that. Don't need that. Cool. Does that still work? Huh. Nice. Now I'm a serious dev. Got dev in the name. Oh yeah. Hey, Miss Dev, are you the artist formerly known as Mist Dota? Is my question. Hello, Paris! Oh, wow! It's the Gleam meetup in Paris. Hello, hello, friends. How's it going? I hope you're having a lovely time. Yeah, I want to do more meetups. We're talking about doing a London one around Christmassy time, but it's quite tricky to organise things around that time of year. But it happens that Gears is around London, so like, it sounds like a good time to do it. Unfortunately, Haley is off in. Haley's moved to Belgium now, so like, it's going to be just me. The more interesting of the I didn't even know. Sorry, I didn't even notice that Jack is in the chat. Hello, Jack. Jack, how do you feel about canned spaghetti? Oh dear. I hope you're all streaming me on a bar on a big screen. Oh wow, okay. That would be surreal, wouldn't that be weird? Maybe I can't find them, but I'm shocked at how little meetups there are in London since I moved back here. Yes, so before the pandemic, there were so many meetups. The joke was that you could have multiple pizza dinners every single day and never buy any food. And since the pandemic, they just never recovered. They never came back, which is a bummer. I think meetups are lovely. Nice to go meet some people. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, real shame. What is this piece of news then? So, Google layoffs. They fired the entire Python. God, there's so many adverts here. They've fired the entire. Very questionable advert. Oh no. The entire team. Oh my gosh. Really? X-Men the Pirate team were highly disappointed with the layoffs. It's the best job they ever had. They felt unfair that they were laid off. Yeah. Good. I mean, awesome you got to have the best job though, even if it did end badly. They've been replaced with remote workers abroad. So they had less than 10 members and they were all fired. Okay. Gosh. I wonder how. Do you think they were really expensive then? It seems like very precise if there's only 10 people. Google's a huge company. Come on, Paj. Thank you very much for the follow. Attempt to focus more on Bangalore, Mexico City, and Dublin. Okay, so they're just moving out of the States because the state salaries are astronomical, I suppose. Like tech salaries in the States are just eye-bogglingly expensive. Like, whoa. People, like I've been seeing people get entry-level tech jobs, remote working for America, and they are higher than the very talented senior developers I was employing a few years ago. Like, the difference in pay is incredible. And like, you know, LA's not that expensive to live in compared to, you know, like, it's more expensive than London, but not that much more expensive, you know. Yeah, okay, well, that sucks. Bad news for everybody, The Big Fang salary is a bit too much. Yeah, I can't imagine having that much money. I don't know what I would do with it. Like, I earn a decent amount of money for like a normal London person. For a developer, I don't earn much. I still am able to do pretty much everything I want to do. I'm quite comfortable. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of stuff I would do if I had the salary that I would have if I continued being a consultant or a tech lead at you know, medium-sized companies. But I'm okay. Like, you know, I can do all the things I want to do. You know, you pay bills. You buy second-hand bicycles. You buy second-hand service from cost converters. Hey, wait, hold on. This test did work, right? Bye, gonna watch a horror movie. Bye. My code is a horror. Okay, I'm going to try await 3. That's a badly named test. I need to relax all these timeouts more. Because they are honestly too tight. Like a bit of a noisy machine will cause these to all fail in horrible ways. Good. Okay. So I've got rid of the monitors, and now I think everything is starting to look a lot simpler. Await forever doesn't look sensible anymore. Cool. Da, 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 da. I'll probably take a break after this. Maybe get. Oh, I need to have dinner. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm not at dinner. A guy's got to eat, you know. Computed by multiple tasks. If the value is not received, for each task, yeah, that makes sense. More bread and olive bread. I don't know. I've not thought about what I want to have for dinner. I might pop to the shop because there's a supermarket just around the corner from me, and I quite like to go before they close and see if they have any, you know, like had to go today. So then they make it really cheap at the end of the day. Another way you can you know have a knife lifestyle. That sounds dangerous. A nice lifestyle with spending less money, and then you end up with things that you wouldn't have bought otherwise. It's quite fun. Tesco reduced section, yeah. Although it's a Sainsbury's, isn't it, but you know. I mean, a module that works on a list of tasks instead of having this all in a task module. You can't use a list of tasks for this because the return value of T1 of the first task and the second task are different, so you can't put them in a list. I am going to make a function that is called await all, I think, which will enable you to wait on a list of tasks that all have the same type. But that's not the same thing as... that won't enable you to do the same thing. That is strictly less capable. Well, it's got a different set of capabilities. So I was going to implement that this stream, but then I ended up being slower than I wanted to, so it's going to take me longer. I think it could be good to have maybe like a supervised task module as well. Maybe. But yeah, we'll have that as well. So I think it would be nice to have it would be nice to have maybe like an await 3, maybe an await 4. Await 4. I've been learning Irish. I'm really enjoying it. And then an await all. And then we could even make a composable API that allows you to wait an unlimited amount with a bit more boilerplate. But I don't want to actually encourage use of tasks that much, to be honest, you know. Dumb question, I guess. I'm sure it isn't dumb. I've only poked a bit with Gleam, only doing brackets system project. I don't know what system project is. Is the web ecosystem ready for production? Yes, it is. We've been working very hard on it this year, and it's really matured a whole ton. It's looking really good. The thing that is most missing, that I think would be really handy for people, is an authentication generator. We haven't got that yet. But, you know, we're less than 1 year in, so... Right, let's make a branch and call it await2. Task.await2. Is that what it's called? Try await2? Try await2. There we go. Lovely. So let's push that. And I'm going to make a... Gonna make a pull request in draft mode, and I'll do some more work on it later. The only Irish you have is Agus. What about sláinte? Or gra? Oh, slán. You know, I've got like 3 whole words, and I probably pronounced them wrong. And I've lost Twitch chat. There it is. You have to use LazyGit. It's a crime not to use LazyGit. I've been habitually typing that git push thing for years. I'm not going to change now. Async stuff has a part-to-put combinator, so you can do 1, 2, 3 part-to-put. That looks like Scala to me. Or was it Kotlin? That requires subtyping or interfaces or traits or overloading. It requires a bunch of features Gleam doesn't have. You can't make that API in Gleam. Interesting watching a stream. YouTube is having a bit of trouble serving the stream here, so I'm watching on Twitch and chatting on YouTube. Yeah, awesome. Double the viewer count, my favorite. I wanted to look at something before I went, and I can't remember what it was now. I'm going to quickly read through the messages and see if I can remember what the thing was. Oh yes, I remember what it is. So we were talking about, is Gleam ready for production web usage? And yeah, I think it is, definitely. I mean, there have been companies using Gleam in production for web for years now, actually, but like especially this year, there's been a bunch crop up. And a good thing to look at is the projects board. Oh no, this is the wrong place. Go to Gleamlang, the organization, and go to projet, and go to Gleam SaaS ecosystem, and you can see a list of libraries and packages that mostly me, but we thought would be useful to have, and we've just been slowly checking them all off, and you can see all these fellas are done. All these things. Ooh. So should have a React client here, shouldn't we? Yeah, could be nice. So yeah, there's just little bits and bobs. I mean, SMTP client would be really nice. That'd be quite easy to make. You could just make bindings to gen SMTP in Erlang. That's quite a good library. And streamer HTTP client, that'd be nice to add to HTTPC. But that's kind of it. It's kind of the big things all there, really. What have you just sent on Discord here? You've linked some. Oh, hello from the Gleam Presium meetup. Oh, wonderful. Hold on. I've got to open this in my browser. And then kind of get. Yeah, look at the Presians. Yeah. So cool. Oh, awesome. I hope you had a really lovely time. Yeah, maybe you're going to be talking French though. I studied French for half a year and I speak like none. So I'll probably be a bit lost, but maybe in the future when I come over, because like it's just a train away. I'm not sure if I've ever been to Paris. Good excuse for a holiday. Oh well, look at this room. Look at these lampshades. This is nice. Oh well, I'm glad you have a nice time, folks. That's really lovely. Meetups around the world. That's so cool. Oh, awesome. Gleam people are cool. I mean, look at this t-shirt. That's pretty cool. Oh, it really warms my heart. That's really nice. Oh, I'm in a good mood now. I'm also hungry, so I'm gonna go to the shop and I'm gonna get something to dinner and I'm gonna enjoy it while watching TV and stroking my cat, if he will let me. But that means we're going to have to part ways. Why is it recommending me a mature... I don't want to do that. But that means I've got to raid someone. So I would love to have suggestions from anyone on who to raid. I mean, if we can raid Prime and he can give me a shout out, that would be lovely. Should we do that? Should we try that? Often he doesn't allow raids. How do you spell his name? The Prime again. The Prime again. Is it going to work? Yay! We're going to raid. Let's go. All right, folks. Thank you very much for joining. I've had a really lovely stream. We've made something useful. I'm really enjoying streaming more often. We will do more of this very, very, very soon. So, toodle pip. Bye-bye. And goodbye to YouTube as well. See ya. Have a lovely time.